Hi, my name is Ian Lack, and today I'm really excited to talk to you guys about something that I think is really important in today's society, and that is feminism in the media, or rather lack of feminism in the media. Today I'm going to be starting off this discussion with a little bit of a story of something that happened last year in 2014 at Utah State University, when feminist critic Anita Sarkeesian was asked to give a speech in front of the campus about women's misrepresentation in the media. However, before she was able to give this speech, members of the faculty and staff at the university were actually emailed by an anonymous person on campus saying that they were going to commit the largest mass school shooting in our nation's history if she was allowed to speak. CNN later reported that sadly, because of this email, Anita Sarkeesian had chosen to prioritize the students' safety above her speech, and so she declined the invitation to come and speak at the school. I believe that this is just one example of the many ways in which feminism is detested in today's society, a society that is largely shaped by our media. If you look at magazine covers and ads today, we can see creative media excluding and downplaying women, and we can often see the repercussions of our media when we hear of sexist political inequality and sexual and domestic violence against women today. I believe that feminism is desperately needed in today's media. That is the point that I'm trying to communicate to you today in this speech. I believe that 1, advertising does not often cater to women. 2, creative media portrays women in a negative light. And 3, media could provide women with more benefits and opportunities if we would include feminism in our media. So let's get started with my first main point, that advertising does not often cater to women. In a 2013 report put forward by the New York Times, women contribute about $13 trillion out of $18.4 trillion in consumer spending every single year. I believe that this goes to prove that women are just an equal part of consumer spending as men are. Mother Jones News Agency reported that of the over 200 Super Bowl ads contributed to the 2015 Super Bowl, about 40% of them only catered to men when they had sexually objectified women. Mother Jones News also pointed out that Twitter had lit up with the hashtag #NotBuyingIt, showing that both men and women were very annoyed with this kind of sexism in our advertising. I believe that these statistics go to prove that women are just an equal part in consumerism as men are, and that women and men are not going to take sexism in our advertising today. I believe that if ad agencies and companies would choose a less sexist and more feminist approach to advertising, we would greatly improve women's intellectual ideas rather than their sexualization of their own bodies. That's my first main point of discussion, that advertising does not often cater to women. My second main point of discussion is that creative media often presents women negatively. According to Time magazine, only 39% of all films ever made have passed the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test seeks to look at women's representation in a film, and the Bechdel test passes or fails a film based on women's representation in this film. So only about 39% of all films have actually passed this Bechdel test. This statistic goes to prove that creative media does not often represent women as well as it does men. IGN, a entertainment website with a specific look at video games, reported that about 17% of all games actually include women as a playable character. IGN also went on to report that a lot of video games actually reward players with health benefits if they actually use domestic and sexual violence, sometimes even rape against women in the video games, by rewarding them with health benefits and different stat boosts while in the game. I believe that these descriptions and these statistics help to prove that our culture promotes rape violence often, and often actually doesn't really even include women in our creative media. I believe that if the media was more feminist, and had a better approach to presenting women, I believe that we could downplay a lot of violence in our media. So that's my second main point, that creative media does not often present women in a positive light. My third main point of discussion is that the media could provide women with benefits and various opportunities. British newspaper The Guardian reported that of the 196 sovereign states in the world, there are 57 countries that have discriminatory laws that prevent women from adequately working in the workplace, in government, in voting, and even in road traffic. And a lot of countries actually don't even have laws that prevent discrimination based on gender for women. In our Congress last year, for every 5 men that there was only about 1 woman. I believe that these statistics go to show that our mass media could be more feminist and could help to promote women in positions of power, and so perhaps we would get women in more leadership roles today. I believe that young women cannot be what they cannot see in our creative media. RAIN, an organization funded by our government, actually reported that last year 1 out of every 6 American women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. I believe that this frightening statistic goes to show that rape culture is being glorified by our media today. And I believe that if we were to downplay this, I believe that we would encourage women and young girls that they should be more innovative using their minds, not their bodies. So that's my third main point of discussion. The media could provide women with benefits and opportunities. So in conclusion, I would like to ask all of you a series of questions. Could you imagine a world in which the contemporary rules for men and women were switched? Could you imagine a world in which men were sexually objectified in Carl's Jr. ads? Could you imagine a world in which women were catcalled on the street? In which women catcalled men on the street? Could you imagine a world in which 88% of our leaders were women? I couldn't imagine any of those things. It just would seem too unfair to men. So why would we do this to women? I think that the media can be a great tool to encourage really great positive change, and I believe that if we were to use the media in a more feminist way, I believe that we could encourage women to do great things, and we could encourage men to treat women as equally as they would treat each other. So that's my main point of discussion here, is that feminism should and can be used in the media. I highlighted this by showing that advertising does not often cater to women. The media often presents women negatively. And thirdly, the media could provide women with a lot of great benefits and opportunities. Thank you.